Welcome to our thrilling debut of What the Fuck Friday.
What the fuck Friday? I'm really excited for this, guys.
So, right before we started recording, you were telling us about your 4th grade teacher's ducks?
Third grade teacher.
3rd grade teacher.
Wait. It gets better. Let me start with his name. Mr. Whitehead.
No.
He was one of my favorite teachers.
And his name was Mr. Whitehead?
Yeah, he was one of my favorite teachers because with math, I was terrible at it, but he always made me retake my tests. And then I would get like 80s or 90s. He's like, you always circle the wrong answer. Or I would fill out my Scantron wrong. Anyway.
A Scantron in the 3rd grade?
You didn't have a Scantron in the 3rd grade?
No.
It was only 20 questions.
I've never seen a Scantron in my entire life. Like, I've never...
Well, I went to school in a city.
I went to school in a city as well, but it was like the small school district in a city.
I went to school here. Anyways.
Okay, Mr. Whitehead.
Was his head, in fact, white? I mean, I just have to get the
He
question
had
out
really
of the way.
long, like medium length hair, like to his shoulders. He was tall. He was really skinny. He ran a lot. And
Did he have a white head?
he had some white hair. He had like brown hair that was turning like silver and white. Anyways, Mr. Whitehead had 2 ducks. The lead into this was Simon and Garfunkel were just playing on Spotify, and that just so happened to be the names of Mr. Whitehead's ducks. On rainy days, he would make us go out and pick up worms off the sidewalk for the ducks. And I loved it, and I feel like that's part of the reason why I want to be a botanist. Bugs.
That has nothing to do
It made
with
me happy
botany.
with bugs. Well, there's also like grass and hella plants that
Oh.
were
It's an
like in the
ecosystem.
central
It
area.
is an
Yeah.
ecosystem, but
It
I was
is.
like,
Well, shout out.
Shout
Mr.
out to
Whitehead.
Mr. Whitehead.
Are you... Wow, synchronized humming. Are you going to tell us about the poop phone? I really want to hear the
Oh,
poop
right,
phone.
y'all. So, this week at my job, we haven't said, I mean, we say where we work. I
Oh,
just
no,
won't say.
it was said in this most recent episode.
It was, like, that I work at 10th and
At
Hill.
Green Coffee Giant.
Wait, do it again. I really liked that.
At Green Coffee Giant Incorporated.
Well,
Ooh, loo.
in Hecka's interview, he goes, can I say I work at Starbucks?
Oh.
And then we're like, and then
Yes.
I'm like, we've said it. And you're like, I've never said it. I
was
say I'm a
avoiding it.
siren slave. And that's like
Yes.
all that is in the episode.
Nobody ever knows what I mean when I say that, though. They're like, how's work? And I'm like, you mean siren slaving? It's great. I love serving coffee to countless people. Anyways, so the shitty situation is what we were calling it. The shit show. It has many names. Anyways, this week at work, there was a beer festival on Capitol, right? Well, some drunkie like flushed her phone down the toilet and like was vomiting at the same time. So I'm assuming that she like dropped it in the toilet, didn't realize it, vomited, and then flushed.
Oh, Lord.
It was an iPhone.
An iPhone what?
I don't know, whatever one will fit in the toilet. Shit.
I'm just like trying to
I'm like, I don't know if the 11 will fit into the toilet, but like the 7 would, the 6 would.
I guess like the question is like if it was an iPhone 6, I would just be getting a new iPhone.
Yeah.
If it was like a brand
That
new
was
iPhone
God's
11.
plan.
Yeah.
No,
was-
I think it
This
was
is
like
what
an
Apple
8,
wanted to
maybe
have.
toilet
Kevin.
phones. No, okay. This is like foreshadowing. Okay, so the toilet phone. There was vomit on it. I couldn't see what was like in the toilet. I just knew that there was a foreign object blocking it, so that's why I had to call a plumber. I couldn't get it out, but it got worse before I tried to plunge. Before I tried to plunge the vomit, I came to find in the phone. I came to find a massive shit that someone had taken.
So you
in
go
the
to get
toilet.
the plunger, you come back, and there's a huge turd.
Yes. It's exactly what happened. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It took like 30 seconds to grab it. And then I had to wait like 5 minutes to even be able to get into that bathroom again. Anyways, I start to try to plunge it again because it's not flushing. And this toilet starts to like back up. Like I got it to go down,
no.
and then I like flushed again, and then it started backing up, and I was like, "Oh no, honey!"
There's nothing like the fear of the toilet.
But it
coming
was like
back.
you could like see the chunks of doo doo.
Yeah, like,
You know, like when
this
you're like
time.
making stew, and then you see like a chunk of fat pop up. That's what.
Wow, now I'm never making stew
you just
again.
gotta throw the whole store away.
Yes.
Just like, nope, we're starting over.
Well,
Burn it down.
fast forward to when the plumber arrives.
This is the best part.
And he literally takes the whole toilet off of the ground. Like, toilet's not, it's like on the ground, but sideways, on its side.
Even the toilet needed to lay down for a little bit.
It needed a break also. He was like, so I'm going to try and see what the foreign object is. But I might have to get a whole new toilet. And I was like, okay. So I texted my boss like, hey, we're down toilet. After that, we're like, okay, we don't have a toilet. Maybe we should close the bathrooms because like it's starting to smell like poop over there. Well, then as I'm like getting ready to go close off the bathroom, I hear a ringing. Like the Find My iPhone ringtone is yes, it's playing.
Can I like play it right now?
Yeah,
Is your
that's
phone
fine.
with you?
There we go. We got it.
But the toilet was doing that.
The lengths we
And
go
the
to
toilets
play
don't
sound
make
effects
noises
for our
like
audience.
that. Okay, so where was I? Plumber.
Plumber.
Had the
you start
toilet.
hearing ringing.
The toilet was lying down on the job.
The whole store smells like poop.
Not the whole store,
The whole
just
corner.
the community sink area.
Ours smells like that because people like to take showers in our sink.
So you heard a beeping.
Yes. And then the plumber was like, guys, there is a toilet phone. And I was like, what did you just say to me? And he was like, there's a phone in the toilet. And I was like, no. And then I walked over and sure enough, that's where the Find My iPhone ringtone is coming from, in the toilet. It's like lodged into like, I don't know what toilet anatomy. But
The U bend? The S bend? It's a bend.
it's a bend. The
It's a
top
letter
bend.
bend.
Well, clearly it couldn't go through a bend, so it's like still lodged into the top
Yeah.
portion. So he was able to get the phone out. He was able to extract the foreign object from the toilet. It was his whole surgery. Anyways, when he pulled the phone out, it literally had an inch of shit caked onto the pop socket in case.
Oh.
Do you remember what the design of the pop socket was? Just like purely out of curiosity.
Doo-doo brown.
You couldn't like see it under the.
That's how much shit was on the pop socket.
Was this girl like in the store looking for her phone, or was she like elsewhere?
They kept calling and like asking us for the phone, and then the next morning her friend came in to get the phone. Well, I told them that we hadn't found phone yet. Then they kept on playing the Find My iPhone thing, and I'm assuming that they thought that we sold or something. But then when she got back, hold on, foreshadowing again.
Did you give her the poop phone?
Wait, the plumber
You
is a
gotta put that
really
shit in a
nice
tip
guy.
bag
Yeah.
And seal it.
Like 12 tip
Bitch,
bags.
you're so smart. That's exactly what we did. But the plumber took the case off and like scrubbed the iPhone with like our toilet brush and bleach. So I was like,
That's
that
a
was
very
really
nice
nice.
man.
He's such a nice guy. He's the same guy that took the music box that was glued inside of the toilet tank at our bar. Do you remember that? He's the same plumber.
Michael Miranda apparently still has that music box.
No, he does.
It plays Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
It's fucking creepy.
Doesn't it?
I don't know what it plays. It plays
I think
your
he does play
soul.
somewhere.
I
is
need to
about
call
be
Michael Miranda.
Attacked by this music box.
Someone was like, it could be a
I'll call
bomb. And I was
Michael.
like, it's a fucking music
Also,
box.
Siri, call Michael.
I'm gonna do a redo of the take because I don't want my job to be in danger. So you put that poopy phone in the tip bag and seal it.
Yeah.
Um,
Why
let
do
me
we
call
do that?
Michael.
While we're waiting for the phone call to be answered, does anybody know why you don't want a poop phone?
Because it has shit on it?
Yes! And that's how you get diseases.
Hello, Hep C.
Hello, welcome. You're live on Be My Beard podcast, specifically What the Fuck Friday. Could you tell us what song the music box that you salvaged from the toilet plays?
I'll play it for you. Give me a second.
Yes!
What a winner.
Could you say that for me louder?
I said I'll play it for you. Give me a second.
Awesome. Thank you for being like on call on such short notice.
Seriously.
This is amazing, actually.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I
This
love
is like
that.
literally terrifying Juliet. Like, look at her. She is like horrified.
Well,
Come
it
here,
was terrifying to pull out of the
baby.
fucking toilet.
Yeah, it's like Michael. If your soul ends up trapped in that music box, I will like not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I literally play this music box every time I use my toilet. Just
To always remember the moment.
yeah, it means a lot to me.
I'm so glad you have it then.
I'm glad it has a
I
special
refuse
place.
to fucking touch it. The plumber told us that we should call Bomb Squad when he found it. Oh.
Thank you for featuring me on this episode. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
We
of
appreciate
course.
you.
Thanks. Catch you next time.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Oh,
So for the listeners, that was
Michael
Hecko Robert
Miranda.
Michael Miranda
If you
III.
haven't listened to part 1 of his episode yet, you should.
Yes, it's available.
My soulmate Pikachu.
Part 1. Back to Le Toilet
Look at how
Phone, laying down on the
horrified
job.
she is.
Her friend came to pick up the phone. That's when the plumber handed it to her in a tip bag, and it was really sad actually. She was like, oh, like she didn't want to take her friend's poop phone.
I love you, but if you sent me to a store and they tried to give me your phone covered in poop in a tip bag, I would not grab it. I would just tell you had to go get that shit yourself.
Conveniently, not saying this has happened to me, but if you were concerned about your photographs and your contacts and whatnot,
Joshua.
they actually have a technology now where if you get a new phone at the Apple store, you can hold your old iPhone next to it, and they don't have to like touch, and you don't have to plug anything in. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
it's
just
just
like
wireless
you can press
now.
the buttons through the tip bag
Ooh,
and just transfer all of your data.
So the poop would remain in the tip bag.
Wait, I
Yes.
didn't tell you the best part.
Okay.
How was the
Toilet phone was still alive. Toilet phone was still turned on,
Wow.
even after this whole endeavor.
Shout out Apple products.
This is the Apple commercial we didn't know we needed, and I am looking forward so heartily to the Super Bowl next year.
So let me get this straight real fast. So iPhones you get an upgrade as soon as their new phone comes out, and your phone will crash. But if you have their newest phone and you drop it in a toilet,
It will
it'll be
survive.
fine.
It will survive at least 24 hours.
Good to know.
allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, if you want it to survive at that point, that's... Well, I think this was a thrilling foray into our new format, What the Fuck Friday. Thanks for joining us.
Super dig the free association.
I can't wait to have you guys tune in next week. It's going to be fantastic. All right. Be the best that you can be. You're always going to do great, sweetie. You can do this. All right. Have a good Friday.
Bye.
Would you like to be our next guest? Email us at bemybeardpodcast@gmail.com.
Give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube and let us know what you'd like to hear.
Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/bemybeardpodcast.
Theme by the marvelous Wayne Jetski. We'd also like to give a special thanks to Miles Mitchell, our lovely editor. We are forever grateful to Enzo Arona for being our studio director.
All rights reserved.
We would like to thank you, our listeners, for joining us on this journey.
Follow your heart.
And be the best you can be.